Hi folks, I hope you can hear me and see me. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, folks, to be sure that I can start to discuss what's coming this week from Sigma, possibly Sony, and also the very latest breaking news about a new medium format sensor. Just give me a thumbs up if you hear me into streaming, because otherwise I have to wait. So just if you can in the chat tell me if you can hear me. All good, okay. The usual technical reminder, as you know, I live in the middle of the Alps and I still don't have fiber connection, and I live in a house in a building that has those old thick walls, so even Wi-Fi is very not so stable, so the image will be low resolution, at least when you see me, and that's actually a good news for you probably. And but I have some I will also stream this time some of your comments, and also show you a couple of news and a couple of images. I'm using for the first time OBS software to make the streaming, so this should be slowly become more professional if we do it. And so yeah, let's hope this works out. Anyway, I first will go through the expected news of this week. There is for sure tomorrow a Sigma announcement. As you know, there is also a Nikon announcement. There might be Sony firmware announcement. Still not 100% sure, but there is some evidence pointing to that. And a breaking news that I just posted 20 minutes ago on sonyalpha.com. Maybe we kick off with the breaking news, because this is quite yeah, last minute news. So you hear it for the first time on this channel, and also you read it for the first time on sonyalpha.com. And so let's kick off, and I will show you what the breaking news is. This is the breaking news that I just posted, that Sony just announced and listed officially a 247 megapixel medium format sensor on their website. So this is an official news. Sony posted this with a tentative mark, which means there is still not full details disclosed about this sensor. This sensor can be found under their database for industrial sensors, and also those industrial sensors, they are used on real cameras, so don't get misled by the definition they gave, because for example their industrial 102 megapixel sensor is being used on the Fuji GF cameras, on the Hasselblad cameras, so this is a sensor that can be definitely used on regular photo cameras. And this is quite a big sensor, so the sensor is bigger than the one used by Fuji and the Hasselblad X cameras, because the sensor size is 54 millimeter per 36 millimeter. So this is a true sensor, medium format sensor. So this is not a crop medium format sensor like the Fuji cameras, but a true medium format sensor. This is a sensor that is currently used so the size is used on the Hasselblad H6D, which is priced at around, let's click here, if I remember it well, $33,000. Of course you get the full body here, and it's a backside illuminated sensor. It shoots 5 frames per second, which is a surprise for me, because it's actually, for me, enough, considering that it's a large sensor, and with those many megapixels, it's quite impressive, and it comes both in color and monochrome versions. So you can read all the news now on sonyalpha.com. If you go there, you will see the detailed specs of this sensor. Of course, Sony currently doesn't offer a medium format camera for those kind of sensors. Only Hasselblad and Phase 1 have such cameras. And personally, I would love if Sony would do, for example, a fixed lens medium format camera with that sensor. I don't know if there is a market for that, but I think sometimes they should try out new stuff. This could be something new, and definitely gives you much more image quality compared to, for example, the Fuji GF cameras, the Hasselblad cameras, and so forth. But anyway, I invite you to read the news. Tomorrow I will make a more in detail video about this where I will explain you exactly what's the difference you can expect in terms of image quality, pricing, and so forth. But that's one of the breaking news you can read on sonyalpharumors.com. I will now go through the expected announcement of this week, and then after that we will go into a discussion, so you can ask anything you want. If you make a donation, I will be morally forced to answer your question if it's not something that I cannot share yet. Like if you ask me about the A1 2 specs, that's something that I don't have yet. But let's go very quickly in 1.5 minutes through the expected announcement of this week. Tomorrow, so March 26th is today is March 25, the 25th. So tomorrow is March 26th at 13 Berlin time. That's my time. So you make your own calculation what time it is in your area. It should be 8 a.m. in the morning, New York time, for example. Sigma will announce the lightest 1.2 full-frame autofocus prime that was ever announced. So this is going to be 1.2 full-frame autofocus lens for the Sony E and Leica L mount, and it's going to be a very light lens. That's the main characteristic of this lens. Let's see if I can find the original news that I shared. No, I lost it, but anyway, this is a lens that has the same size and aspect of the 50mm 1.4 art from Sigma. So I'm just going now to find the Sigma news, just to give you the full specs, to not make any mistake. Okay, I will now show you the news on sonyalpharumors.com. So this is a real image I got of the lens. It's only a crop. The source didn't want to share more of it, but it proves there is a 51.2, and it has 72mm of filter size. He also showed me more, but I cannot show the image to you. I don't have the permission. It really looks like exactly the Sigma 50mm 1.4, so that's what you have to expect. And what else? It weighs less than the Sony 50mm 1.2, so 38 grams less. And the aperture has 13 blades, so 2 more than the 50 GM from Sony. And yeah, I don't have the full pricing info yet, but this lens is definitely coming. Moreover, yeah, let's see. There is a rumor saying that there might be a Sony firmware update for the A1 A7sIII, that this could be announced on March 27, max March 28. But this is something I got from 2 news sources, so that's of course unreliable, and 1 trusted source that got it not directly through Sony. So I trust the source, but he didn't get it through directly from Sony. So I cannot be certain as of yet. But he said that through his channel that actually there is an announcement coming this week for the firmware update. But yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you. What else? There is a new Nikon 28 400mm 4.0 8.0 coming on March 28. Quite a curious lens, so a lens that does it all. You can do landscape, street photography, and also go into very tele-end. And I've been told that it's quite a compact lens despite the focal length, but I think it has to do with the fact that it's only 8.0 at the tail end. So that's quite a big limitation, but it allows you to make a more compact design. And then I got some 2 whispers about another announcement from coming this week, but I didn't get any info about the possible let's say manufacturer or what kind of lens this is. So this is something I cannot say yet. Okay. This is when it comes to regular expected rumors for this week. There is another Sony announcement coming 2 weeks after, so in mid of April. That's confirmed 100%. So in general, from what I heard, you can now expect a couple of Sony announcements coming one after another. So if this week we are lucky and we're getting the firmware update, but you don't care about this, don't worry, there's another announcement coming in mid of April. So in about 20 days from now. And then I already got info about another announcement coming after that, shortly after. So there are a couple of announcements. The one in mid of April, I told you for sure we're getting 16-25 2.8G, which is a selfie lens or a gimbal lens, and it will be probably presented at the NAB show in Las Vegas. And this makes a lot of sense. I didn't get any confirmation about other products that will be coming at the NAB show. Hopefully there will be something more, but I don't have final confirmation. For sure, we're getting ZV-E10II, the 85 1.4 GM2, and the 24 to 70mm 2.0 between now and early summer. What I'm only working to get the final release date for all three of those products. And if you still are not excited about all the stuff that is coming now, because except of the 2470 2.0 that is super exciting, probably most of the other lenses, maybe the 85 1.4 GM2 will not be interesting for you. The ZV-E10II is a particular camera. Don't worry, I'm also working on the full exciting camera announcement coming the second half of the year. I just started to get at least one bit of information about one of the alpha cameras coming, so as soon as I can, I will share the info. As you know, my rumor work is to gather information. I don't just spill it out like this, because I try to double check it. So sometimes I will post unconfirmed rumors, like for example, the firmware update, because they're telling me this is coming in 2-3 days, and as I'm going to tell you, but I am also going to tell you I don't have the time to confirm it as it's coming so fast, if it's coming. The other rumors I'm trying to double check and confirm, and use also information I have to double check other infos I get. Okay, this is more or less the introduction I wanted to give you. It's the sense of this live chat is to be able to answer your questions. So I'm now going to scroll through your questions. If you make a donation, I will surely try to do my best to give you my best answer possible. So I'm scrolling back and checking what the questions are. So Ivo asks, hi Andrea, yeah, you said you shared tidbits of the upcoming cameras 2024 your next. Yeah, I have a possible release date of the ZV-E10II. That's something that you can expect me to share probably end of this week or early next week. And I started to get information about another camera that, if it's true, it's quite exciting. And this is probably also a rumor I'm going to share quite soon. So those are the two camera rumors I'm going to share. I don't have a confirmation about the A7S IV yet, so that's something I can tell you right now, that I cannot... I have no clue yet if it's coming. Jifei asks about the A7S IV. He asks the probability about that announcement. So, as you know, the A7S III is 4 years old. It's the oldest alpha camera in the lineup. So on paper, usually Sony does replace a model after 4 years. This should be coming this year. I only got a confirmation that there will be new alpha cameras the second half of the year. So that's the 100% sure info I got. I also got some info about what not to expect. That's something I also will tell you. So there are cameras that are definitely not coming. But the A7S IV, I didn't get the final confirmation from trusted sources. And I wonder sometimes if the A7S IV and the FX32 will be the same camera. Because they are very similar, so I don't know if it would make sense for Sony to merge them in one camera. So that's the thing that I'm trying to understand right now. Any news on the next Lumix camera? I sometimes talk about also other manufacturers because I'm not a 100% blind fanboy. I like to see what the competition is doing, and if the competition is doing well, then Sony is also forced to, for example, lower the price, bring new firmware updates, and so forth. So I'm hoping Lumix is doing quite well in terms of what cameras they are bringing out. I think in terms of sales, they're not doing so well. I think they came into the market a bit too late, so they will have it very hard to sell their very excellent cameras like the S5 II. It's a camera that I can highly recommend for features and pricing. There are 3 new Lumix cameras coming, and I am now starting to work on the rumors to get the information about those cameras. One of those 3 is definitely a high resolution camera that could be coming in early summer. So a 60 megapixel S1R2 or S2R from Lumix. Any news on the Fuji X Summit date? That's something you have to ask Patrick from Fuji Rumors. He is doing a great job, so you have to ask him. For the A1 II, that's something I can tell you, it's not coming anytime soon. So but the good news, you will have plenty of time to save your money for that camera. But that's something that we will not get in the next 5-6 months for sure. What about a new FX camera? Yeah, I promised you to share rumor way before, but then I got an update from a trusted source and the rumor changed. And it has to do probably with some production bottlenecks at Sony. I'm not really sure about this, but many product announcements have been postponed. So I didn't post that FX rumor because now I don't know what's coming first. So I'm waiting out on the new FX camera. What I can tell you for sure, there's a new FX camera coming within the next couple of months for sure. But I have to work now on the new updated roadmap from Sony. If I think that it's realistic, the A1 II will be announced in early 2025. Yeah, could be, but it's not coming till, let's say, August or whatever. Okay, that should be clear. That I'm 100% sure, unless all my trusted sources are lying to me. The 24-105 II, I didn't get any info about this lens. Anything about the new Ricoh? I also don't know anything about this. Odds of the ZV E10 II being announced in April. This is going to be one of my next videos, probably end of this week or early next week. I can tell you a tiny bit later than April, so not coming probably in April, but a tiny bit later, but still not 100% sure. Any news about the FX6 II? No news at all. I got rumors about new FX. One FX camera, it's not the FX6 II. That's something I can tell you right now. Do you have any clues what the firmware updates will bring aside the Burano things? I got some information from news sources, so I don't know how reliable those are. Like there was the time code for the A7sIII. They will all have Creators app support, of course. And I also wrote a couple of more info on sonyalpha.com. You can check it, but I didn't get much. And like I told you, I didn't get it from trusted sources. So keep in mind that I'm not sure about this. Yeah, the monitor and control app for the A7sIII could be coming with a firmware update. What about the new 24-200? I would love to get this lens. What I've been told is that Sony will update some of the older lenses, particularly zoom, so this is a hot candidate. So I hope this is coming this year. The Canon R1, yeah, that's a kind of a strange rumor because I'm actually not actively working on Canon rumors. So I'm not really into it. I have some people that, of course, also know about Canon stuff. And back when there were a lot of Canon rumors about the R1 having whatever, global shutter, that, those sources told me that's all BS. So that's all I got. Maybe I have to ask them if they got some update about the possible real specs. So I will mark this question and try to answer you later. Again, Gaming Fool asking for the A1 II. Could be, but it's something where I didn't get a confirmation. Okay, so I hope A1 II is coming in early 2025, but I didn't get a confirmation yet. When will the Sony 85 1.4 GM2 be announced? My rumor that I posted 1 or 2 months ago, I told you that the Sony 85 GM2 is coming for early summer. So I'm still positive that it will be announced between the next 2-3 months. My only question is the availability, because as you saw, Sony has some kind of production bottlenecks. Probably some parts bottlenecks. I didn't get detailed info. For example, the 2450 2.8 that was announced will only ship in late May. So even if the Sony 85 GM2 would be announced in May or June, I think you would have to wait quite a bit before you will be able to get it in stock. I didn't get any info about the possible 85 1.2 from Sony yet. As you know, Viltrox will make such a lens pretty soon. Albedo, I don't have info about a new 28mm lens. School Photo Video asked me if the A1 II will have global shutter. I didn't get any confirmation for the specs on the A1 II yet, but I'm pretty certain there will be no global shutter on the A1 II. I think the A1 II doesn't need it, and the A1 II will try to strike the balance of having the best image quality and the fastest speed possible with that image quality. And if you have global shutter, you have that tiny bit of really small difference, and I think the A1 II cannot deserve to be the best in class behind the A1 in terms of image quality. So I don't think it's coming. It doesn't make any sense to me. The A9 III makes a lot of sense with global shutter because it's aimed for sports photographers. I would also argue global shutter would make sense on the A7S4, because for filmmakers it's very important to have global shutter. That's my opinion. So the A1 II rolling shutter, I think 90% likely. The 140mm GM is one of the oldest lens lineup. Like I told you in my previous answers, there are some updates coming for all the zoom lenses, so this might be one. No, I got the rumor about a new camera that is different than the cameras you're mentioning here. So I didn't get rumors about the A7S4, at least not reliable. I'm always talking about 100% reliable rumors, and not reliable rumors about the A7 V yet. So the rumors I got about the cameras announced in the second half are actually other cameras. Also, I don't have rumor about a possible 90mm macro lens that is coming yet. Sony Venice 3 in 2024, not sure yet, but I've been told there will be in autumn quite some scenic cameras from Sony. That's something I can tell you now for the first time. So, but that's all I got. I don't have specs yet about the Sony you mean Sony firmware update. Focus stacking, I don't know. I hope. Sony teased that they will bring us many more features than the one they mentioned on their presentation back in November. You can see, for example, here they said like braiding for the A1, braiding compensation, relay playback, and so forth. But they also wrote "and more." You can see it here. So I hope this is one of the more features that are coming. I read on Fuji rumors that the X Pro lineup is not discontinued. So I think there will be a new X Pro. I think it's one of the most beautiful cameras. It would be foolish for Fuji to not make it. That's my opinion. Any new update about the 2470 2.0? Only that it's confirmed via trusted sources. I'm working to get the final info about the possible announcement date. But the fact that I got that info already in January tells me that it's coming soon. I just hope that it will be a lens that we not only can dream but also buy, that it's not too crazy expensive. That's my only, because I'm sure it will be optically great lens, still enough compact that it's not overkill to use it, but the pricing is the one that really worries me. So fingers crossed. I don't have any Xperia rumors, sorry, because I'm not really interested into smartphones. I cannot get excited about that, so I'm not actively working on getting Xperia rumors. I don't have info about the 200-600mm M2 version. Like I told you in my previous answer, there will be updates for current zoom lenses, but I don't know which one will come first. I don't have info about the FX32 or FX32 coming anytime soon, so that's an answer I can give you. The next Sigma lens will be the 51.2 that I already told you. I don't have info about the lenses coming after this one, so I don't have an answer here. Yeah, maybe it's coming 2025, but I'm not actively working on Fujirumos because Patrick Fujirumos is doing such a great job. It's just a waste of time me trying to compete with Patrick. Do you think there might be an E-mount Android camera of some sort? I don't know. The one trend I told in my previous video, on one of my previous videos, that one trend I can see from now on is that the Chinese lens manufacturers will soon start to do also cameras because they're becoming so good with lenses, and some companies like, for example, TT Artisan and others already officially say they're working on developing cameras. So I can see, for example, Chinese manufacturer making Android cameras, but I don't know if they would use their own mount or be able to use the E-mount. I don't know if there's a proprietary licensing problem. I don't know if they have to ask Sony for a permission. I would love if Sony would give access and possibility to third-party manufacturers to not only make lenses but also cameras. I think this would be a win-win for Sony. But I can see a possibility of Chinese manufacturer making a camera with Android built in. That's something my feeling tells me, yeah, it's coming, maybe not soon, but it's coming. If I have any clue about the A7 IV, all I got from a very trusted source is that it's not coming within the next 6 months. And that's all I have that I can share as of yet. Is Sony going to release a new full-frame fixed lens camera soon? I hope so. That's one of the things that Sony should do. And I also saw that there is quite some interest now in those cameras coming back. If you look at Google Trends, there is an interest in the RX1 that is coming back. That's something I want to share in a new post on sonyalpha because I think I think there's a market for this, but I don't have a 100% confirmation that this is coming. Like I told you in one of my previous videos, I know that Sony made a market research over 1 year ago for such a model. So this means they are thinking about this for sure. And probably if they decided to do it, development is quite late in stage, so it will not be far out to get this model. I'm not going to show the questions that I already saw because just scroll back, like you're asking me again about some zoom and 28mm. I already answered those questions, so I'm just moving forward. No, I didn't hear any A1 specs that I cannot share. I'm very honest. If I would know something, I would tell you that I know something and I cannot tell to you. As of now, I only got info about possible timing release. That's all about the A1 Thanks, Gaming Fool. Now the A7 IV is not coming anytime soon, Valentin. You have to wait. I have no info or any kind of rumor about Sony doing 3D or VR as of yet. I don't know about the FX32 and FX62. What I can tell you is that I didn't get info about that camera being released anytime soon. So the closer I am to an announcement of a camera, the more reliable I get, of course. But I didn't get anything about those kind of models. So nothing at all. So I'm just going back now to the browser to see if there's some other news I can share to you. Yeah, today is the last day of the Amazon Spring Sale, so you can see the links to all Amazon Spring Sales in the description box below. Those are affiliated links, so we get a small commission, and you will help me doing my job. I think the storage deals are again the most interesting deals you get, and also the Adobe Creative Cloud is very intriguing. So if you need to update your prolong your service, then you can do it right now with a discount. Let's move on to other announcement. Like I told you, mid of April will be the next Sony announcement. Also in April, Viltrox will announce the 135 1.8 full frame autofocus lens, the first lap series lens, so their best quality image quality lens. You can see it here. That's quite exciting what Viltrox is doing. They will also announce the 40mm 2.5 and the 56mm 1.7. The 40 is full frame, the 56 is aps-c. And just a personal note, you see that lens here. It's the Voigtländer 51.0. Well, I just bought it today. I love manual focusing. And I love Voigtländer lenses, and there are a couple of reasons why I did buy this lens. It's an expensive lens, but it's I currently use the 40mm 1.2 that I have here, and I just love the fact that those lenses are very compact. If you would have them out of focus, they would be nearly double the size. And I'm anyway a manual focus shooter because I like to focus not where the algorithm tells me to focus, but I want to be more creative, and so I need manual control, and therefore I'm happy to have this lens, and I will review it for you and show you what this lens can do. It's for me, it's a super exciting lens, also because this 1.0. It's not like those third-party Chinese manufacturers. With full of respect, because Viltrox are doing great and some of the lenses are great, but the 1.0 or 0.95 lenses we have yet from Chinese manufacturers are absolutely, yeah, you can say creative if you don't want to say that they are bad. I'm sure they can do superb lenses in the future, so the Chinese are doing a superb job, but as of now, this Voigtländer 1.0 is the best 1.0 lens that you can buy, because it's sharp and it still has some contrast when shooting a 1.0. So I'm sure that I made a great purchase, and I will share my reviews as soon as I can. Let's go back to other news before we end this chat. This already I talked about. The Sony A9 III dynamic range is surprisingly good. That's something that that was kind of bit of a saga, that the A9 III had quite a bit of a drop in dynamic range. That's very tiny, small, very negligible. So I'm glad to see that even a serious person like Bill Clef from Photons to Photos confirmed that the A9 III has perfectly good dynamic range, nearly as good as the predecessor. So that was a very good news that I posted this week. So let's see if this is all. Okay, folks, the last couple of questions, then I will end the live stream. Let's see. Okay. Because scrolling back. This is an interesting question. Having IBIS and electronic ND in a camera is quite important. I think Sony can do it. I think Sony could potentially do it on a FX3 II or A7S IV. I don't know if it's too early to implement it on budget cameras compared to the Burano, so maybe we have to wait 2-3 years more. But I'm sure they can pull it off. Sony can do that. Do you have... I don't do recommendation about Sony cameras. The reason is because it's quite complex. It depends on what you are, what your budget is, if you actually are aware of what you really want. Most of the people I know, they don't know what they want to photograph. So my usual recommendation is to buy the cheapest possible camera with the cheapest possible zoom, and just try to see for 1 year what kind of images you take, and after 1 year you will probably realize what kind of focal length you use more and what you need more. So it's too complex to give recommendations to people. Any news about the A7CS? No, none. So I don't know if this rumor is actually true. I don't think it is true. A new RX 100. No info about this camera. No, I don't have info about the Sony Airpic S1 in Europe. 0. Okay, folks, those were all the questions you had. I think in time, I hope that we can do like a live stream once a week, so that I can give you a summary of the news that I posted with some extra explanation or the forecast about what could be coming. And also, I'm very interested in your feedback because it helps me to understand what you need from me, what I could do better, or where I was wrong. Because if I'm just writing on Sony for Rumors and do this job all alone, I'm in a sort of echo chamber with a screen, and I never read. That's a confession I make. Basically, never read comments on sonyalpha.com. That's not because I don't like to read comments. I don't have the time. I have to work, do sonyalpha.com, and have family stuff, and then I want to have free time too. So I decided to in my life to just get rid of the stuff where I waste too much time. So but those kind of live streams I can do. They're quicker, easier, also more polite. If you see it's a more dark discussion, so expect me to once a week, maybe probably we have to pick up a day, could be Friday, do this. Sony viewfinder, somebody is selling me, asking me about the Sony viewfinder. So one of the ideas I had is that the FX3 and the A7S3 should get one successor and basically a sort of FX3 2 with an external viewfinder. So you can have both, the best of both worlds, because the A7S3 has an integrated viewfinder and people want it. I'm actually one that only uses the electronic viewfinder, never the screen on the back. So it would be nice if Sony would make an electronic viewfinder for the FX3, FX30 cameras. I would love that. I have no info about the new RX10 camera. So folks, if there are no more questions, I will end the live stream here with the last news with the first news that I shared, that we are getting a new medium format sensor with 247 megapixel and not that crop medium format used by Fuji or the Hasselblad X2D, but a real big size sensor, which is this one, and comes in both color and monochrome. Imagine having a monochrome compact fixed lens camera with that sensor. That would be quite stunning. You can read the news on sonyalpha.com. Be sure to check it out. Let's see if people actually made comments. Yeah, I think there's a lot of interest about the sensor. Yeah, quite amazing. Okay, folks. Thank you for having visited this live chat. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you haven't done it so far. As you know, I'm often the first to break rumors and news on this channel. I will try to give my best, and give me a thumbs up as usual, because you know the YouTube algorithm doesn't help me as of yet because I'm too small. So it's important that I should just take 1 millisecond time to put a like. And for anything, questions, drop it there. I will read it, answer you, and see you next week with the next live stream. And like I told you at the beginning of this video, expect me to share more rumors after the official Sigma and probably Sony announcement this week, because there is a lot of stuff coming every couple of weeks now from Sony or Sigma or Viltrox. So there will be quite a busy time from here till early July. Then we will get a short break, and then the most exciting Sony camera announcement will happen. Okay, folks, that's it. Thank you.